In Kentucky, we don't just take chances, we bet big. This January, I'm sitting down with 4 Kentuckians who made 4 bold moves and asking one question: what was the biggest bet that you ever made on yourself? This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Town & Country Ford. So wherever life's adventures may lead you, Town & Country Ford is along for the ride. What is it you've had to learn about the designing process?
As the years progress, we design our own products. I have the denim shirt, denim jacket I have on, the flannel he has on, jeans.
Yeah. Let's go to these festivals. Let's set up. Let's answer questions. People can touch and feel these products.
But, we were making premium, quality products at the time.
Have you ever in this business, you felt like been hindered because people judged where you were from? My next guests are the founders of one of the fastest growing apparel lines in the region. It is rooted in the outdoors, it is rooted in Appalachia, and it is rooted in giving back. That's why I wanted to sit down and share the story behind Josh and Jared Ravenscraft. It's called New Frontier Brands, and it's great to have you guys both here. Thanks for making the drive.
Hey, thanks for having us. It's great to be in the big city today.
It's a big moment for us leaving the East.
Yeah.
You got the horses outside.
It is nice to honestly get out of work. It's been crazy during Christmas for us, so many holiday orders and stuff. So we've been in the warehouse day and night. So this is kind of our first break outside the county lines for us, but we're excited to be here.
You guys are rooted in Eastern Kentucky. It's called New Frontier Brands. You popped up on my Instagram feed when I was searching for outdoor gear and ski gear. Mm-hmm. And there was something so familiar and comforting about the apparel. You could have placed it in the West, right? But it was rooted in something so true and authentic. So take me back to how this all came about. Was this a plan from the get-go, just 2 brothers deciding to start a clothing line?
Well, first off, thank you. That's very kind. We try really hard to make it look nice and presentable, so thank you. But yeah, the story goes back 9 years ago. I'm graduating college. Josh is graduating high school. No plan in the future. We wanted to build this brand, build an Appalachian brand. Where we're from, there's no brands a lot of brands you see are from out west or bigger cities or fashion hubs, and we really didn't feel spoken for in Eastern Kentucky or Appalachia. So that was the vision. That was the plan. We didn't have any money, so we got a summer job working as janitors, and I'll let Josh pick it up there.
Yeah, so
what
we were.
A summer
so
job,
you got to think,
right?
I am fresh out of high school, so it's summer. I'm out of high school. Usually, people are doing all my friends are having a great summer, and him and I are janitors at my local high school. So we're raising up some money to put together to kind of start this. It was kind of in the back of our minds, should we do this? Should we not? But I think it really hit us when it was one summer day. We were cleaning, sweating. And we stopped in one of my old classrooms. It was just him and I in there. And we're like, dude, we got to do something. We're too young. We got to go all in. No disrespect to being, a janitor, because it's a hard work. But at that moment, I remember that's the moment we were like, all right.
It was an all-in moment.
Let's rock and roll.
It was an all-in moment to start New Frontier and to take whatever cash, $200-something bucks.
I remember we opened our bank account at the local bank and said, we want to start a business account. And they said, well, you got to put a deposit down to open an account. And I was like, oh, yeah, that thing. I was like, we'll do $200. So I remember the account, if you go all the way back right now, the first deposit in, it's $200.
So we started after working that dirty job, really built it up brick by brick, rented a garage space, had a store in a garage space. We had people come into a garage for our first year and a half. So we really went all in.
Yeah, meeting people, you got to go back and think, okay, if y'all want to buy some of our gear at that point, this is what, 2017-ish, 2016, 17, you would have to meet us at the local Walmart. You'd have to meet us at Shell Station. We'll run over to that Shell and meet you.
Like a swap meet.
Very much.
Yeah.
And then we did cash transactions, didn't have an online store yet. So that was the start. Very, as you can imagine, raw and organic.
Why did you guys land on apparel, outdoor gear?
Like I'd mentioned before, we love where we're from. We love Eastern Kentucky. We love Appalachia. And in the brand space, 8-9 years ago, we didn't feel spoken for. Mm-hmm. There were no brands making things there. Clothing, apparel-wise, designing it themselves wasn't there. You have brands like Carhartt are very big where we live. Patagonia's very big in the outdoor space, but they didn't represent home. They didn't represent Appalachia. That's why we wanted to do it or try it.
Yeah.
And we went all in, and here we are.
Right. And so it starts with the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
It starts with behind the Shell station. And then at what point does it start to really come together that, wait a minute, people really want this? And did that start because of social media? Did you realize that social media at that point was better than any brick and mortar store to begin?
I think, yeah. I mean, you can speak on it later, but I think we had to share that on social media because where we're from, you know, we're not in a highly populated area where things will just spread like wildfire, like word of mouth. So like we were pretty active on social media to be found. It's kind of like, hey, we're over here, like look at us type thing. But yeah, I think starting, you know, organic and grassroots like we did, like from the Walmarts and Shell, the online store when we got it up in 2017, mixed with social media, started to skyrocket. More eyes started being on us. And I think people just realized too, they were like, this is an authentic brand making premium products. And I think that's what started turning people's heads towards us. But, you know, we were making premium, like quality products at the time. And I mean, people are still discovering us today.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like we've hit some threshold of being discovered. We're still on that climb. But as you mentioned, we started like nobody had an idea of what we were doing early on.
Very off the grid, very small. And those face-to-face interactions really matter as well. You know, going out to festivals, meeting people face-to-face, having that interaction, authentic interaction is very important. But also social media helps. It helped us so much, like putting gas on a fire.
But like you said, that was early. And then it started really heating up. It felt like 2018, we shifted a gear and it's like, all right, online orders are coming in all across the U.S. Locally and regionally, people are starting to pick up like, wow, orders are coming in. We won an International Trade Award in 2018 for shipping to Canada. And at the time, I mean, we were like, wow.
They found us.
They
found us.
We've been seeing
Canada.
This is really cool. It was like a confidence thing. We still knew we do have a long way to go, and we did. But at the time, it was like, all right, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Like, this is pretty neat.
When you kind of plan out your year, you started with how many products? Like these are our core pieces, and then you're going to expand to how many?
You talking about when we first started?
Like when you first started.
Oh, man.
This is easy because there's only like one or two.
Right.
There's only one. We had a hat. We had like a couple hats. We had a couple hats and started there. Like
we can do hats good.
we can do hats. We started there with that first initial $200, ordering some product, and then this slowly. I think we're up to probably
And after hats, you went to fleece.
t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, and then as the years progressed, we design our own products. Like the denim shirt, denim jacket I have on, the flannel he has on, jeans, premium products. So it was a very steady build to get to that point.
What do you all have you learned about design experience? Don't tell me you're going to like Fashion Week in Paris, like in the spring or anything like that. But
they wouldn't know what to do with us in Paris.
Oh,
they
gosh.
love you, I think. What is it you've had to learn about the designing process and the manufacturing process that's kept you rooted, but it's kept you moving forward?
Yeah, I'll say first, to preface all that, neither of us had a background in design. Neither of us had a creative background. I was like a communications major, and he was out of high school. So it's not like we went to some design school in New York and knew how to design products. But for us, the big thing would have helped. The big thing is just about where we're from. There's loggers, there's coal miners. It's a blue collar place, and we wanted to make apparel that represented that functional lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then the gear wasn't there, so it's rooted in that. I don't know if I answered your question, but those authentic people, authentic experiences is what inspires the things that we make. We don't just make things to make things. There's a purpose behind each product.
You've thought about everything that you're making.
It's a uniform.
You've also mentioned just the festivals and kind of boots on the ground. That's just been a big focus, that you are very aligned with a lot of the key festivals throughout the South. I mean, namely like Healing Appalachia. Why did you see that as that avenue of, let's go to these festivals, let's set up, let's answer questions, people can touch and feel these products, but these are important, like rooted in America values festivals that we want to be associated with.
Yeah, I think like it's so, like Jared said earlier, like if to have a brand, I mean, it's so important like to be involved with your community. That's the whole point of a brand. So if you don't have your community and the people who support you,
Well, that's a pillar for us.
Yeah.
Community.
that's like a foundational pillar. So going to these events or festivals, big or small, we will always feel like it's important to like you said, talk to the customers, meet them one-on-one. We met thousands of people at Healing Appalachia, and that festival we went and set up at was special because Healing Appalachia, their mission is incredible, and it aligns with us at New Frontier for everything they're doing, from like the drug epidemic and the give back they do for like alcoholism and stuff. That's really cool because we're aware of the stereotypes around Appalachia. So everything we do at New Frontier is in a positive light. We're always shining good on the region. We're never, looking to like lean into those bad stereotypes. But it does give us a chip on our shoulder to say, okay, we hear the stereotypes, but we can also put them to the side. But it's so important. Like a kid came up from, from Florida or somewhere and was like, we've never been to Kentucky or Appalachia. Like, we're so glad you guys are set up here. And they're like, who owns this place? We're like, oh, me and him.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow, it's so cool you guys are really here. But we don't really think about it that way because we just really enjoy like speaking to customers, and we know how important it is because they're the whole reason we're here. But Healing Appalachia Festival was crazy.
Yep.
I feel like that's one of the most underrated festivals in the country. That, I mean, what, Chris Stapleton and Tyler Childers like come
Chris
back almost
Stapleton,
every
Tyler
year.
Childers, so many other artists from the region. Just such an
Who was
awesome
this
festival.
year? Chris, Tyler, Cole Chaney. I mean, I can't remember the whole list, but Cole Chaney.
Name them all.
Here we go. Yeah, I mean, a lot of great music and artists, but the festival itself is such a cool element and give back. And we wanted to be a part of it in any way possible, which we'll definitely be back next year. But it's really cool to see that many people come together to do good for Appalachia. It's so important. So important.
You mentioned you want to represent your community in the best way possible. Have you ever in this business, you felt like been hindered because people judged where you were from or said, you know what, these guys.
For sure.
Oh, come on.
happens
They're
every
from
day.
East Kentucky.
And that's-
and you feel like, and then how do you take that and slide it into the back of your head? And it's like, you know what, we have got to keep going. But did you feel those stereotypes just starting out? And you probably feel them
100%.
to this day.
Oh, 100%. And we use it as fuel. It motivates us. But early on, getting into like, big retailers, like outdoor retailer in Denver, like we sign up, go there. We're from Kentucky. We have an accent, and there's other brands that are checking out, things we have. And like, oh man, from Kentucky and the hillbillies. We hear those words all the time and like on Zoom calls throughout the years, with retailers and bigger stores, but we use it as motivation.
Well, things are motivated, certainly. So
Yeah.
where all you, tell me about all the things that have since, I feel like you've hit this kind of like this roll of things this past year, the past 2 or 3 years.
It's been our busiest
We've been very
year
blessed.
yet. It's been a wild
Crazy.
year.
So you do have a brick and mortar store now
Yes,
in
ma'am.
Moorhead, hometown.
Oh yeah. We love
Yeah.
the local shop in
We
Moorhead.
will always have the Moorhead location. It's our flagship store. And then we have this year has been, like you said, like a rocket year. So we've had over 100 wholesalers across the U.S. from all different states order New Frontier brand gear. So it'll be like in their store, which has been wild. I mean, those wholesale accounts are wild. We're working on some internationally right now, which is crazy.
You're in some REIs, right?
REI's been
REI
great.
is a cool one, yeah.
Yeah. REI. So they picked up our gear and we were like, this is really neat. But the cool thing is to hear the turnover. People are like, some people are finding this for the first time through REI. So that's very cool to see. So we're like a fresh brand. When you see New Frontier, and then you're like, oh, LL Bean, Patagonia.
It's like we've been grinding at this for, it seems like a really long time, 8 or 9 years, and people are just now finding us for the first time. So that's a cool experience.
Okay, I know you're going to talk about the next collab. It's a big one. Pause for a quick break. Coming back with Josh and Jared in a moment. I grew up in a Ford family. My dad worked at the Louisville Ford assembly plant. So growing up, it wasn't just a brand, it was a part of our life. And that's the thing about Town and Country Ford. It is woven into the fabric of not only who we are in Kentucky, but who we are across America. So wherever life's adventures may lead you, big, small, or totally unexpected, they're there. Back with Jared and Josh with New Frontier Brands, and we're talking about their origin story, why they felt so passionate about building their brand rooted in Appalachian values. They're growing, you're moving, people are seeing you, you're ordering all over the world. Just recently, one of the biggest brands in bourbon ever reaches out and says, hey guys,
Hey, fellas.
Four Roses? Is it Old Forester?
Old Forester.
One of them. Old Forester reaches out and says, yeah, let's do something together. Talk me through what goes through your mind. Two guys from Moorhead working with Old Forester, one of the biggest brands in bourbon.
It's very surreal for two country boys from Moorhead who love bourbon and love, just the industry. And Old Forester is such a legendary name. We couldn't believe the email. But it started off us collabing and making some gear and workwear for them. It started
Which totally makes sense. I mean, they need great gear, but they look great. They want to look great, but you need things that are of quality and of value and tie back to their values.
Right. Yeah. The Kentucky spirit in that partnership is just really awesome. And Josh, I'll let you speak on the bourbon.
Oh yeah, I just had some driving in. Sorry. That's why we're late.
I feel like that's like such a bonus. It's like, we'll carry some of your gear because they're going to carry some of the gear in the store there. But then many of the folks that work there, you had them like pose in this really great picture I think I saw where they were all wearing it. But to like partner with them on a bourbon,
it's really surreal to think about. It really is.
Gosh,
It's exactly that. It's beyond the apparel. Like when you think back of the history of the Brown-Forman family and Old Forester, it just blew my mind. I felt like a kid on a field trip when I walked in there, like looking around at all the old photos and stuff. But for us to be partnered with them, I think Jared and I feel like, holy shit, we're like, don't screw this up. We're fortunate for this opportunity.
Don't screw this up.
So
come on.
It's like we're so excited about it, but every day we're just pouring everything we can into like their product creation, design. And it's really cool them to like, do it through a Kentucky company. They could do it through so many other people.
Speaks to them.
Yeah.
But really cool that we're like two Kentucky collabs going on. The bourbon itself is incredible. And folks should, we're in Louisville, they should go find it in their gift
130
shop.
proof. We did a launch party with the band, the Creekers. If you haven't heard the Creekers, you got to check them out. They're blowing up. We did a big launch party collab, and it was awesome.
Oh, it was great.
Right. And so where can we get the bourbon?
Old Forester.
Old Forester.
They got
If they're not, they might be sold out now. We got to
Stop it.
Depending on when this airs,
Yeah. Stop it.
I think it actually, I'll just go ahead and say it. I think I know it's sold out there, and we have 7 cases at our warehouse in Moorhead. I don't know if we can.
But the gear is there and available.
Yeah, there's gear there. They got
at Old Forester.
They have denim and hats and beanie. Like the gear there is really great.
Yeah.
So where do you pivot to next after this? Do you look at like pivoting into another line of apparel or other collabs? What do you feel like is organically like the next step?
Horse racing. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
What would you name your horse?
Buy a horse.
Buy a horse.
Yeah.
It would be called the Journey, right?
The Journey.
Frontiersman, something cool like that.
Yeah,
Mountain Man, something like that. Mm-hmm. What's next? I mean,
and that's so attainable these days. Like there's so many of these groups that are popping up where you can like have a minority ownership.
Yeah, call us. Let's go.
Right.
What's next? The online presence, for sure, doubling down on that ads. There's so many people finding us for the first time in New Frontier. And we have so many great products. We're just now getting out, like the denim, the stretch flannels, so many new pieces, the fleeces. We have so many great pieces. REI is just now finding some of these. Getting these bigger wholesalers is key for us because you get to meet so many people, across the world. And we're just from small town in Eastern Kentucky, so it's being discovered.
Well. Yeah.
It's taken this long to have you got to have a lot of stuff come in your favor, like products, and then you got to have the money. Like there's so much stuff that's got to line up.
Yep.
But like Jared said, this past year has been crazy. So with all these new wholesalers, all these new customers, and the events and everything, you just double down on it. But it all starts with product development. If you don't have a great product, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think 2026 will be doubling down on our product development, online store doubling down, and then wholesale locations across the U.S. and internationally. We'll just be pouring gas on the fire. Because I think we've always been confident, but this year we're like, holy hell, we're really doing it now. So let's take it up a notch. We'll probably need to do some hiring this next year as well. We're pretty capped out. We've got, so it's Jared and I, and then offices and warehouse in Moorhead. We have the store. There's like 20 of us right now, but we'll probably have to amp it on up. We might have to have somebody watch you, keep an eye on Jared.
Yeah, I might need a security guard.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Do you feel like, though, you mentioned earlier that just having like young people come up to you and seeing what's possible, that has to be like one of the coolest things that I feel like for so long we've heard the stereotypes about Eastern Kentucky, or it's almost the same mainstream stories that are recycled over and over and over again. I've heard them. And it's like there are so many great news stories coming out of East Kentucky, and you guys are a big part of that, that young people can see, oh, we've just got to be super creative and believe in ourselves. That's it.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself.
Double down on yourself. We were those guys. We were those kids in Eastern Kentucky, and there's not a ton of influencers there. You know, you have great people to look up to, like Chris Stapleton, Tyler Childers, musicians.
Not everybody can sing.
Yeah, but
Right?
just people that are creative and doing something.
We wish we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
it's
know?
really big for us, you know, to spread that positivity and to the younger generation in Appalachia and Eastern Kentucky. Just people like us that might be worried about, you know, the way that they speak or the way they sound, you know, in like a industry like fashion or something else, you know, that you can do it, you can double down on yourself and lean into what makes you different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that, do you feel too that people are just so drawn to authenticity these days and so drawn to, look, I know exactly where these guys are from, right? Like I trust them. There is trust associated with somebody totally being themselves.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of power in that. And
Yeah.
you can't fake authentic. Like you can't be like, I'm super authentic. I'm going to be, you just
I'm
got
going to be authentic.
I think
I'm so
people,
That's my
authentic.
brand
I'm
animal.
so
and
authentic.
I'm
You guys can
tired of
tell.
that. Yeah.
It's just being yourself. And I think we've always just been ourselves. And as a
Yeah.
brand, we
Yeah.
try to weave some of that into our products or how we communicate or present ourselves.
Yeah.
So it just comes across as maybe more authentic than something that's like superficial. But
Or put on.
different
Put
people
on,
have different
yeah.
things that work for them. But for us, that's kind of all we know. So
Oh, I think it's paying off for sure. So I wanted to ask you guys, looking back, what do you say is the best bet that you all took on yourself? Whether it's that $200 deposit on that checking account or quitting that janitor job, like what was it that you think, and it could be something that you're getting ready to take. What was the bet that paid off?
yeah.
I mean, 1A, just thinking about, you know, cleaning out lights, cleaning out AC units that summer. You don't know what's going to happen. You want to start a business, but you're afraid. We doubled down. We said, all right, we're doing it. That was a go moment for me. I'll never forget it. And that's
remember-
1A. And those happen a lot in business or just
Yeah.
like moments like that.
It's terrifying though, isn't it?
Very
It's
scary.
terrifying. It's like,
And yeah, we didn't have it. So like, too, everybody's got their different story, but like some people, like Jared, we weren't like. This might sound bad, but we didn't have trust fund or there was none of that going on. Like no family.
you're not
business.
a bourbon heiress or an
Oh
heir?
yeah,
I'm not either.
started with millions. And like, so when we we had no backup plan. I guess
Yeah.
is
There's
what
no
I'm trying to
backup
say.
plan.
So it's like didn't have like just in case you all fail, you'll be totally fine. I mean, it was one of those like if you don't, you're effed.
Yeah.
So figure it out.
Yeah.
So when I think we had our backs up against the wall. And to answer your question, I think leaving that janitorial job was massive. I mean, if you looked at the statistics and said, boys, should you do this? It should say no everywhere.
Yeah.
But that inner grit and
Yeah.
determination and backs against the wall, you can go so far. So I think that's what got us going in the right direction.
So take us to your Kentucky table. So say you're going to have a East Kentucky dinner party,
Oh,
Kentucky table
gosh.
wide open.
Oh.
I can only imagine the characters at
That's
this
a good
table.
one.
Who are the folks that you are inviting to the table? Maybe you know them. Maybe they're ones that have like supported you along the way, or maybe there's people that you're thinking, I really admire that person and I want to get to know them and I want to invite them here. Who are your people that you're bringing to the table?
How big a table we got.
right.
How big a table is this?
Yeah.
Two people that are Morehead State grads that we're connected to, you know, through the Morehead State, Jesse Wells and JT Cure. Jesse Wells plays fiddle for Tyler Childers. He's a musician. JT Cure is a bassist for Chris Stapleton. Two guys that believed in us early, super good friends. I would have them at the table just because they're so genuine and authentic and hard workers. Just, you can
Not
pick.
bad.
Golly, there's
Wow.
so many. There's so many. Does it have to be somebody that's from the past or present, or can be anybody?
It's your table, your rules.
One that comes to mind, just because my dad worked for him, but it's Paul Patton from Pikeville,
Former governor.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Eastern Kentucky. The politics aside, I just remember my dad saying he had no shot at winning. Well, at the time,
True.
they didn't think he would win the
It's the
governor's
truth.
race. And Dad said he'd put on jeans, he'd wear boots, and he was just himself, being authentic, and he would hit the campaign trail. And it's always kind of hung with me. I'm like, wow, that was really cool that he still went for it, even though he
Yeah.
didn't have a shot.
Paul Patton was authentic before authentic was cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
And to mention a woman that meant a lot to us, just recently passed, former Governor Martha Collins.
Marlene Collins.
Yeah.
She was at the trade award that we won for international trade several years ago. Super awesome lady. Spoke confidence into us. Meant a lot. I would have her there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good table.
Oh yeah, that's a cool crew.
Would you like
Yeah.
any UK athletics coaches?
I mean, if a table's getting bigger.
Yeah, table's
let's-
getting bigger.
Okay.
Get the new football coach in, Will Stein. I like his energy.
He's Kentucky native, right?
Louisville kid,
Louisville
yeah.
kid.
I like it.
Trinity grad.
Yeah, Trinity Mafia, they say. I don't
Where's
know.
his mom?
Yeah.
His mom has it like a bakery. Is it in Lexington or Louisville?
It's in Louisville.
He's in
Oh,
Louisville.
really?
Yeah.
We need to check it out when we leave.
Maybe she can bring treats to the table. The table gets bigger.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bring a cake in.
There we go. Guys, it's been so great to catch up. I appreciate you being honest about the story.
Yeah.
Which of course you're going to be honest about the story, but I think people don't share the fear of failure. They don't share the downside, and I think that those are the moments that I think everybody can learn from the most.
Oh yeah. You got to lean into the curve.
Yeah, it's real. Nothing's
Lean
perfect.
into the curve. I may steal that.
It's like when you're
Yeah.
riding a fast bike or something, you can't slow down. That's when you wreck. You got to lean into it.
Yeah.
So it kind of applies to things get hard.
Yeah.
Get you home, buddy.
Oh man.
That's it. Thank you. That was great.
Hey.
Thank you so much for watching the podcast. If you felt inspired, please leave a comment, send this over to a friend, and don't forget to subscribe and get the word out. If you're following over on Instagram, be sure to follow the Best Bet Pod for all the behind the scenes action. And you can catch us on all the other streaming platforms from Spotify to Apple. And if you're on Apple, please leave a 5-star review because that's how I can get the word out about the podcast. So until then, I'll see you right back here next week.